Sitting here today on Better Fitness TV with Brandon Francis, Shawn Odo. Brandon owns a nutrition store in Montgomery, Alabama, actually Millbrook, excuse me. Shawn is a competitor here in the state of Louisiana. He's also a personal trainer. So we have these guys here and we're going to talk a little bit about bodybuilding. We've heard from Brandon and talked to myself, Stephen Lambert. We're going to ask Shawn some basic questions just to kind of get his spin on all of this. Shawn, how do you feel about the pursuit of bodybuilding in terms of business, life, family, all of those things?
I mean, I think that bodybuilding is a way it teaches you discipline. You have to be very disciplined to compete in the sport. And I think it just kind of encompasses everything. It gives you, helps you be more disciplined with all different facets of your life, including work and family, job, business, all those different things. I think it makes you stronger as a person, which in turn, again, helps with, business, work, all those other different things.
Now, Shawn, how long have you been competing?
I've been competing for 10 years.
And how did you meet Brandon?
I met Brandon. I started working with Stephen Lambert, and Brandon was a client of his. Met Brandon this past year.
Yeah, we actually competed.
Yeah,
same show. Didn't even know each other at the time.
Yeah. And competed together, not in the same division last year. Didn't even know each other. Formally met each other this year through Stephen, and that's about it.
And so, what is your take so far of Brandon? What have you seen with him as you've got to know him?
Brandon's definitely very, very disciplined guy. Probably one of the most, disciplined guys in terms of business and bodybuilding, family, that I've probably ever run across. Very, very gifted bodybuilder. He's got a lot of things that people strive for.
And Brandon, how did you, when you first met Shawn and y'all began a friendship, how did that come about?
Well, I guess when you Stephen made the transition from Birmingham, taking your personal training and supplement business from Birmingham to Louisiana, obviously that was the opportunity that Shawn and I had to meet one another. We kind of heard, different upsides about each other through you as a trainer and as a coach. So I was anxiously anticipating meeting this guy. And I guess when we both met each other, we were like, wow. Both had the wow factor about one another in terms of the presence that we both carried, obviously, from a physique standpoint. But, one thing I can say about Shawn is that he has to be, one of the hardest working guys that I've run across who takes bodybuilding very seriously. A lot of times people fall in love with the physical side of bodybuilding or the end result of bodybuilding, and by that I mean when you're actually on the stage. But if you're going to make a splash in this sport, it's what you do in the off season, it's what you do when no one is looking at you. It's those small things that help you, accomplish the huge things, which is obviously being a winner in the sport, and just the way Shawn carries himself, taking care of his personal training business, him as a person. I knew Shawn was a good guy when just this past year we did the Greater Golf. Initially Shawn and I were supposed to be in the same weight class going into it. And a lot of times if you're gonna be in the same weight class with someone, it's hard to push this next person on because you almost feel like you're competing against one another. Technically you are. Yeah. And I saw a lot in Shawn at that point in time because he was continuously, edging me on to, train harder, pose harder. Brandon, you're looking good, vice versa. Therefore, I made for certain to give the same things back to him, and I knew right then and there that was a good guy that I wanted to be around because most people in that case would not give you those type of compliments or give you that type of push to be a better athlete, to be your very best, especially if they're competing against you. So something that small meant so much in terms of Shawn as a person. Therefore, I knew it was somebody I wanted to keep in my corner and, certainly be a teammate of this guy. So you're talking about a class character person. Shawn, he's definitely that person I want to be around and keep in my corner for a lifetime.
And I think y'all probably both agree that, in our narcissistic business of nutrition and bodybuilding, most of these people are also cutthroat and trying to cut each other out, that when y'all ended up having to compete against each other almost without being warned, Steven just kind of threw you into it. You really got to show and display what the beauty of bodybuilding was, because instead of, you know, being angry towards each other or trying to do anything derogatory, instead you both grasped it and just made it a beautiful thing where you became friends and you started trying to push each other to beat each other, to be the best you could be. So anyway, I don't know if you guys have any other comments you'd like to make, any other statements, but
I guess in ending, you know, I look at this whole piece as a team. All look for us to be as successful as possible. With that being said, we all find words of encouragement for one another. You know, although you and Shawn are working closer together, you know, in the same store, same state, same city, same gym, I almost feel as if I'm in the same location as well, and I'm in a totally different state. You know, the expectations from you as a coach, Steven, is to check on me and to make for certain that I'm doing well, everything is going good in my prep, whether it's show prep or off-season preparation. But I also get the same thing from Shawn. You know, making for certain that I'm doing fine, make sure the training is going well. You know, hey brother, keep your head up. I know right now you're going through some tough times, getting ready for this show. You're 1 week, you're 2 weeks out. Keep pushing. You're gonna be a champion. You know, that type of stuff means a lot. You know, and I tell you that, you know, for the whole Team Lambert, if you will, you know, I look for big things for us to do. You know, in 2010, 2011, so on and so forth. So it's going to be a relationship that I'm totally going to embrace and put my arms around and squeeze as tightly as I possibly can, because the sky's the future for all of us.
Yeah, I feel very blessed and very thankful that I was able to meet Steven and work with him, and after meeting Brandon, like he said, the whole team thing, I think we have a great group of people that we're working with. We're all really close friends. You know, when I was doing the Louisiana State Championship, Brandon was texting me, calling me, you know, edging me on, motivating me, telling me to keep pushing, and you know, even though me and Brandon were supposed to be competing against one another in one of the shows, I just think that we just had that relationship where we just both push each other with, you know, everybody just, it's just a motivational thing, and it's the fact that, yeah, when we're on stage, we were, for that one show, going to be competing against each other, but at the end of the day, we're still on the team, and we still want each other to do the best we possibly can. And I just think we have a really good group of guys, a really good group of people, and that just breeds success. And I think we have a lot of, everybody's really motivated. Everybody gives each other a lot of support, especially when they need it most, especially if anybody's down. And you know, you can only go up from there. So I'm definitely looking forward to what Brandon's going to do, what I'm going to do, what Steven's going to do. I mean, I think that it's going to be very successful, and I'm very thankful to be a part of, you know, this team.
so if there's going to be any additions to our team, they will be very carefully picked, because what I wanted y'all to see is that at this point in time, these two guys never knew each other, not a day in their life, but I knew them individually, and I knew what kind of people they both were, and I knew if I just threw them into it outside of me, without me ever giving instruction, without me telling them, hey, you know, do this or check on this, they started building their own relationship, checking on each other and making sure both of them are staying committed to what they're doing, and that's just a beautiful thing. So this is Better Fitness TV, and we're going to wrap up with quick plan update. Brandon's going to end up competing in 4 weeks at Mr. Alabama. We're looking for the championship. Moving on to nationals. Mr. Odo here has just competed for the first time in heavyweight open, and he had a very good first outing. He placed 4th and 5th, which is a big deal because he had never competed in open before. So both of them have the mass, both of them have the size, the mentality, the work ethic. We're going to make some improvements, and we're going to push them all the way. I'm going to live vicariously through these guys because I don't have their genetics, but I love the struggle, and I love having them on my side. Thank y'all so much. It's Better Fitness TV.